Hello and welcome to the Vita Box. We're here with BMart008, BlueMaxima, and IceBreak. But anyways, that's me, BMart, trying to be Blue. So I'll let him keep going. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Vita Box. I have nothing on BMart. This is BlueMaxima here. I'm here with the usual suspects, BMart and IceBreak.
Yo.
And we're here to talk about the Vita. Just one thing to tell the people. Sorry about the fact that there wasn't an episode of this last month, but, oh man, my internet was giving me so many issues I could not believe. Now that I've got my own problems out of the way, what are your problems? In other words, how are you?
Good. I have too many games to play. It's my problem right now.
That's a pretty big problem right now.
I have to admit, that's got to be one of the better problems you can have. Alright, so let's talk about the past couple of months in games. Anything you two want to talk about before I start salivating over Virtue's Last Reward?
Well, I think we'll be getting to most of it, so
go on ahead. Let's just jump right in. You can tell us about Virtue's Last Reward. I have not played that one actually yet.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's going to be all you.
Yeah, Virtue's Last Reward is one of the most brilliant games I've ever played. Currently my favourite game on the Vita. God, I don't know what I can say about it. I mean, like, back when I first uploaded my Vita review of it, I said the exact same thing, and nothing's changed, even with enough time to deliberate. It's just such a brilliant game with a brilliant story, well-designed puzzles. I keep telling people to get it, and they're like, oh, well, I want to wait for 999 first.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I mean, it is a sequel, and a sequel that's only on another console, so that might be, kind of a detriment to getting sold by a lot of people.
It's like the only problem I can think of with Virtue's Last Reward, other than the fact that it sucks your life away. Play the prequel on a different console, even though I can't help but imagine that nearly everybody has a DS at this point.
I don't.
I've never gotten a DS, actually. So
really?
You're in the minority.
Mario 3D Land's pretty good, Mario 3D Land, but it's not great, and it didn't really sell me on the system. So
I've got 4 DSs sitting on my bookshelf. You guys have none. This is ridiculous. Like seriously, I got my 3DS right next to me along with my Vita. I got a DSi XL, and a normal DS that's broken and only works with the Game Boy Advance slot.
Jeez. You're more hardcore than me, but let's get to a game that more people have played so far. A game that is also on the PlayStation Vita, Persona 4.
Okay.
Have you started playing Persona 4 yet? I've started playing it. I love it so far.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I haven't gotten like 20 hours in or anything into it yet. Maybe about 10. But I've been busy lately. What about you?
Well, let me go first, just to get it out of the way, because I have not touched this game. I'm not really a big Japanese RPG fan anymore, and I don't know. I played the Persona 3, and it just didn't click with me, so I'll probably give it a shot at some point, because it's just ridiculous, the reviews that it's getting. But, yeah. So I'll let you guys just, share the love.
Gush about it.
I can't believe it. Not only is it the highest rated game on the Vita, it's the highest rated portable game of all time. That's just ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know how true that is. I mean, reviews come in late, like it dropped from a 95 to a 94 on Metacritic, and
Oh, come on, you're complaining about a 1-point drop?
Yeah, I know, and it's great, and I'm not saying it's not a great game, and it's even though it's a remake, it's probably going to get the Game of the Year when we have the thread on Reddit and all that. But, I don't know, man. It's a PlayStation 2 game. It's great. I'm glad people love it. It's not going to sell Vitas. It's not going to, do stuff like that.
It did.
Actually, it sold a ton of Vitas in Japan. It was actually the biggest weekly...
I remember that week. It was like in June or July, somewhere around there. And sold like 20.
4 times the Vitas were sold from the previous week, the week Persona 4 came out.
Yeah, but then the next week it was right back to where it was practically. It tapered off real quick.
Yeah,
so I don't know. It's not like they just came out with the best-selling Vita games for this month, and guess what was number 1?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
The worst. It's not just the worst rated Vita game on Metacritic right now. It's the worst rated by 10 points. It's like, it's
yeah, no.
like, yes, there's subjective opinion and all that in there, but then there's like 10-point difference between the worst and it. Yeah. So you can't always go by what's going to sell Vitas is what's great. And I am not saying Persona ain't great. It's great because everybody who's played it, and I have not played it, says it's great. But it's not moving Vitas like, a great. If Call of Duty was great, the Vita might be all right now, but it's not. So,
Well, I heard that Sony dropped like $50 million in marketing on Call of Duty on the Vita. There's some contract between them and Activision, and so
we've seen a lot of the Call of Duty commercials and the Liberation commercials. They're all right, The one on the train, the Liberation commercial is pretty solid.
Yeah, of course.
It's not really moving Vitas that much, I don't think.
Just the one problem with Call of Duty and Metacritic is that the Metacritic reviews are, I'm not going to say wrong, but I'm going to say really low scores than what they should be. Mainly because the multiplayer is nowhere near as broken as they say it is. It's just the multiplayer is fun. It really does feel like Call of Duty on a handheld, but everybody just seems to focus on the single player for some reason. It's like, what? Why are you...
I haven't played the game, so I can't really, in my criticisms, I can't really say, from my experience, but the only place that I've heard, love for that game is, the people who have played it in, our Vita, and that's it. The people that, if you listen to the PlayStation Nation podcast, they love, they won't give a B to, most games. They love most PlayStation games. Not that they're biased or anything, they just enjoy a lot of games. Just crushed it. If they'd hate it, it's crazy, man. I haven't heard anybody say anything positive about the game outside of the subreddit. That's it.
Yeah, well, different strokes for different folks, but I guess every single reviewer's saying that it's a bad game. I'm going to side with the reviews on this one. So I haven't played it, sad to say, but I'm not going to pay $50 for an hour single-player campaign. And I'm not a big multiplayer guy. There's only a few games that I've really gotten into multiplayer on. But, an hour campaign? Come on. I mean, hell, I feel bad for Nihilistic. I mean, they're destroyed after this, right? And because they were just put in such a bad place, but I mean...
Well, if you believe... somebody posted a link to... I think it was In Your Hands, posted a link to a NeoGaf post where it said that Call of Duty, Activision was trying to make their own Call of Duty for the Vita, and they were just trying to scale it down, and Sony told them that's not going to work well, and so they tried for a year and a half, and they just had to scrap it and gave it to Nihilistic. They used their Burning Skies engine, and that's why it's the piece of shit it is today, because they only had 5 months to make the game. So if you take into consideration that it's a 5-month-old game, from scratch, that's pretty good.
Good job, I mean...
well done.
But I mean, that's all conjecture. We don't know, we don't know for sure that that's...
I really would like to know what the details were behind that.
But it makes a lot of sense, it makes a lot, of sense. Why we didn't see a single clip of it until, when did we see it? It wasn't even E3, it was past E3.
Yeah.
Gamescom, yeah. So, it makes a lot of sense. Maybe, it sounded like Activision got the best because Activision was supposedly got to decide the $50 price point, which is just that stab in the gut, That's crazy. But it's still going to sell. That's the thing. That horribly reviewed game that maybe some people like but most people can't stand is going to sell more copies than Gravity Rush, more copies than Uncharted, more copies than Assassin's Creed, more copies than anything on the system. Persona 4 is not going to sell a quarter of what Call of Duty sells.
Oh, I'm sure, but...
Sorry, that was my phone.
That's all right. Yeah. But what about the games that you played the most of over the past couple months? Since we last had our podcast, what's been your biggest... Yeah, we know, Blue, you've been playing Virtue's Last Reward like crazy, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what about you, IceBreak?
I mean, I didn't really get into the Little Big Planet like I have for the other two, even though it's supposed to be a really good game. Probably, I want to say Sound Shapes, but I probably haven't played enough of that either. I've been playing a lot of Battle Royale online, and a lot of Treasure Park lately has actually been hooking me in.
Yeah, I got that
Stuff to
puzzle.
play. There's too much stuff. Like, I keep bouncing. Like, I almost have 100% in, what is that game? Retro City Rampage, which, is hard, but, like, it's supposed to be hard. Like, it's mocking the games that were so ridiculously hard in the past that's kind of the point. But I still got to get that Death Cam VHS without dying, and that's a pain.
I still haven't found that yet. I've been trying to get to that, but every time I just close Retro City Rampage.
Yeah, it's a tough. Like when you get to the final boss and that. Oh man, don't be near children because you're not going to be you're going to be swearing a lot. It's not
unless I count myself as a child, which I do. I'll be nowhere near children.
Yeah, it's a shame, but
yeah.
It's so rewarding when you finally get through. It's so frustrating because it really reminds you like the old Ninja Turtles, the underwater, fucking insane. If you don't know where you're going,
I hate that stupid stage. That's gonna be the stage I've quit 3 times on.
Yeah, I bought that on the Wii, like on the Virtual Console on the Wii, and I got right. Oh yeah, completely forgot. Like I love this game. This game is great. Why didn't I buy this game before? Oh yeah,
sodomized by the water stage.
Yep. But, it's a great game. It was really, really funny, really enjoyable. That's probably what I've played the most in the last 3 months, maybe. Maybe Sound Shapes. I don't know. It's a tough call. But, yeah.
Well, sorry, Brandon, I forgot to ask. You forgot to answer the question. I got to learn to talk properly. What have you played in the last couple of months?
I spent probably around 30 or so hours or 35 hours on Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Good choice.
I'm crazy for that game. Like, I'm a big Burnout Paradise fan, and I love the Burnout games. And, Most Wanted is a very pretty thing that you can grab. And, I'm excited for the DLC coming out, I guess, this month.
I'm sorry, if you took that last thing you said out of context, a very pretty thing you can grab.
Yeah. But it's a very pretty game. Like it runs quick. Just if you get a chance to try it out, God, go for it.
Have you tried the PlayStation 3 version?
I haven't yet. Actually, I should probably download it. The trial or something like that.
I'd be interested to hear like. Everybody, I remember when that game came out, like everywhere I read, people were loving it. But the review scores are kind of low for it. But the review scores
it's like
in
78
general,
or something, 78 or 79 on Metacritic.
Like review scores in general don't really influence my opinion on a game here or there. It's only when you're 10 points worse than the worst game of all time for a system that kind of makes me pay attention to the review scores, or the best by 6 points with Persona, which I'm probably going to end up getting at some point just because of that alone. But yeah, so I'd be interested to hear what the difference for people who have played extensively both versions, because I haven't really seen people who have done that. But I'm not really a racist.
What I actually saw in a lot of the like pro reviews is that they got the same guys who reviewed. I guess they all have like a racing guy in their sites. So like Game Trailers has the racing guy and IGN has the racing guy. And it seems like they all play the PS3 version first, and then they go to the Vita version. And they say it's not as good, so I guess maybe it lowers their scores again. But once again, like you're playing the game through again twice. I haven't played the PS3 version.
And people forget that they are playing on a handheld. It's not. I mean, even though it's the console experience, that's how Sony likes to advertise it. It's still on a handheld. I mean, that should get it a point or two. You shouldn't be. Oh, this is the PlayStation 3 version that we put all our time into, and then here's a handheld version that's almost damn as good, but, we're going to drop a few points because it's not exactly the same. It's a bit much. Although, I remember, and I don't like to cross systems, but this is just, I got to say it, with Mario 3D Land, after playing Galaxy and all that, and even Mario 64, when I'm playing a Mario with 3D in the title, I'm expecting, Mario 64 at least, and it just wasn't the same. It just was less of a game to me, and that kind of sold me against it. But when you're getting basically the console experience with Need for Speed, it seems a little disingenuous to say, well, it wasn't that close. It wasn't close enough to give it the same score. where it's basically the same thing. But a game like Mario Land isn't even close to what, Mario 64 was, and that came out 10 years ago. So, I don't know. It's just my opinion.
Fair enough.
Oh.
There is one thing that I've been playing, Gravity Rush. Hint, check channel next week. Hint, hint.
What is the hint for? I don't know what that means.
Hint, hint, check my channel next week on Tuesday. Hint.
How about you give us a bigger hint? How about you...
Are you doing a playthrough?
Make it a little... Yeah, come on.
Yes, Brennan got it. I'm doing a Gravity Rush Let's Play.
There you go.
Okay. Yep.
Sorry, it's a great game. I mean, there's no reason why anybody who owns a Vita shouldn't have played that game by now, especially now with like PlayStation Plus giving away pretty much every system seller a PS Vita has right now. Jeez.
It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. Yeah. And like, if you listened to the podcast a while ago, I mean, people probably, the people who listen to this now probably weren't even around back then. That's what I said, man. You got to go big. You got to go all in, and it's not going to work overnight. They're not going to sell a shitload of Vitas, even though they did okay on Black Friday. Not great, but okay. They're not going to sell all their Vitas overnight, but word of mouth with that PlayStation Plus is just going to keep going and keep going, and people are going to be building up those collections for, in a year from today, if they give out 2 games a month, which, Europe just got 3 for December. We don't know what America's getting yet. But if they give out 2 games a month, that's 24 Vita games people are going to have for a system that they haven't even bought yet.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good selling point, I think. I think that's a pretty good, you get your Vita, and then they can give you a year plus on top of it with the Plus bundle that they added. So, pretty damn good, especially when the games are, Gravity Rush and Uncharted. It's fucking nuts. I can't believe that shit, but yeah.
Although that memory card's a kick in the pants. Like 4 gig, seriously?
Yeah.
Their pack-in game, Unit 13, is a digital download code as well.
Yeah, that I don't like that. I don't mind the 4 gigabyte cards for the bundle. We can talk about that in a minute, but I don't like them giving you digital codes. At least just do what you're doing with the Assassin's Creed, where you put it in, right next to the memory card. You give us the actual physical card, but the digital download code, that's pretty shitty. But as for the memory card, like 4 gigabytes, that's good. I mean, how many people are used to playing 5 different games at once on their systems? This is a new thing that we're getting used to. And if you want to have every game available to you, all you got to do is just buy a bigger memory card. Complain about the pricing. Find a good deal on Amazon when Amazon's like up to $90 now, so that kind of sucks. But at one point it was down to like $70, which wasn't too bad. I paid $100, so.
I guess maybe the boost of sales in the last month have sort of pumped up the...
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, it's pretty evident, because, like, first it was 70, it was like 72, then it was 80 after Black Friday, and now it's all the way up to 90, because everybody's been buying their Vitas. But, like, with the 4 gigabyte card, you can always fit any game, even the biggest games on the system. I'm not even going to say Uncharted, even, Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 and 3. Both of those together still fit on one memory card for a 4 gigabyte card. There's no game on the Vita that won't fit on that card. So
yeah, but at least it'll
thinking about the fact that you have to delete it to play something else, and before you would lose your save, and that was shitty. But now you upload it to the cloud, so you don't really have to worry about that. But most games you could fit 2 at least, 2 games. I mean, I think Gravity Rush is like 2 gigabytes, and then Tales from Space is like 100 megabytes, something like that.
Gravity Rush is actually 1.5 gig.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad.
And most games you're going to be able to fit a lot more. Like, you could fit how many Retro City Rampages could you fit on one memory card? You could fit God knows how many. It's like 28 megabytes for the whole game.
About 100, I think. So it's like 42 megs.
Yeah.
But
the question is, why would you want Retro City Rampage on your memory card 30 times over?
Yeah.
To scroll through 3 pages of Retro City Rampage.
All I'm saying is, like, the people who are upset about getting a 4 gigabyte memory card, be happy you got a 4 gigabyte memory card, because there's a lot of people who bought Vitas before these bundles came out, who didn't get jack shit. And that kind of sucks for them. I feel bad for them, because they had to buy a memory card, because it was really shitty of Sony early on to not include the 4 gigabyte card. But once they started including the 4 gigabyte card, I don't really have a problem with it. I think it's a pretty fair deal. If you want to upgrade, you can. If you don't, you just got to go through a little more, downloading games and not having everything at once. That's all.
Fair enough. Let's move along, shall we? I saw a lot of people complaining about DJ Max Technica Tunes price at $45, and along with Call of Duty being $50. Is it fair to charge such high amounts?
Yeah, well, you know, I would say $45 for a rhythm game.
How much is it? 45 or 25?
45 digitally only.
Wow, I didn't even hear that.
So,
I thought it was.
Yeah, so I guess they would have charged $50 for it if it was at retail. I guess.
They are charging $50 for physical copies. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think it was out in physical copies yet.
Or they're shipping the special editions now.
Okay. Well, yeah, but that's a lot of money for a rhythm game.
Is this like this isn't like, we're not talking about Dragon Alliance or whatever that game was that was like $2 on iOS and then $40 for the Vita. This is like a full title that they're just charging a little too much for, right?
Yeah.
The opinion.
Yeah, I mean it's shitty. I don't know why people do that. You know, although. You know, the one thing you got to say is the two games that are the only two games on the system that are $50 are going to be the best-selling games on the system by far. Uncharted and now Call of Duty. So they know what they're doing, I guess. You know, they don't do it for but the problem is it creates this perception that your games are $50, your games are $45 when there's only like 3 games that are even that price ever. And it's kind of a shitty thing to do, I think, even though you make a little money out of it. You know, you see a lot of people who think the games are $50 because of these couple of games, and that hurts Sony in the long run, I think. But.
Well, the thing is, the guys who are making Technica Tune came out and said they think their game is worth the $50 because of the fact that there's over 60 songs in it, and there's different difficulty modes. There's a lot of content in there to justify the $50.
Yeah. And I get that, but you know what you could do and not piss people off as much, although you probably still would, is what Fight for Fortune did, where you come out with a decent price. I mean, that's a different type of game, but that's only $5. But then you have 2 downloadable content packs with it at launch that are like $3 a piece or $2 a piece, whatever they are. So really, your game is like $11 for the full game, but if people just want to get the main experience, they can still experience it for less. So, you know, you have the option of doing that, but I guess they wanted to just include everything from the get-go and wanted to get every cent they could. You know, people are hyped for the game, though, so I don't know.
Yeah, I put up a video, and I've had a few people tell me that they want to get the game now that they've seen my video of it.
Is that kickbeat game like the DJ Max? I don't know.
No, nothing like it, really.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Music games don't really do it for me, especially ones where you gotta touch the screen as opposed to just hitting buttons. That seems even harder. But
you've got no idea. Trust me.
People are gluttons for, like, I don't know where I saw the video, but somebody had a video of the top rank level where they got 97% or something like that shit, and like my mind can't even function that fast. I don't even know how people can hit buttons like that. So.
Have you seen my video of DJ Max on YouTube?
Not if you weren't that guy who hit 75%. That's or 97%. I've only seen one video of it, and that told me that is not the game for me. But you know, people love that shit. You know, it's more power to them.
You know what? A good rhythm game for me just goes. I'll go crazy like Guitar Man. If you've ever heard of that, it's like a PS2 classic. They made it. They made it on. They re-released it on PSP, and unfortunately they don't have it on PSN right now. Probably one of the best, a difficult game, but one of the best like gaming experience I've ever had. I would pay to get Guitar Man back on, but
yeah, and I mean Guitar Hero and all that stuff are good too, and they have like endless soundtracks because they can have almost any artist. But I did like back on the Xbox 360, I liked Boom Boom Rocket. Was pretty fun, and all they did was use classical themes and music and stuff like that with a techno turn to them, and it was pretty fun. I don't know if the company's still around that did it, like Geometry Wars. I know they're gone now. All the good old Xbox Live Arcade games, but you know, I mean, it's just not a genre that I want to. I mean, Boom Boom Rocket was $4 for me when I bought it, And I don't even think they make $4 Xbox Live arcade games anymore, so...
Yeah, maybe
whatever.
not.
And, paying $45 for a game like that, if it's worth it to you, it's worth it to you, Like, if you love Call of Duty, even though people don't like it, who are they to say what to buy? If you like it, you like it. That's all it is. So,
True.
Don't let people tell you what to buy.
Fair enough. YouTube update. That's awesome, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yes, it is. Not only there's a few small things that I would like to still see. Like I'd like to see when you get a message, you can send a message and you can do it on the PlayStation Network. You can from Vita to Vita, and you can send a link to a video. The only problem I have with it is it opens the web page before it opens the video, and I'd like to be able to just go right to the app. And then when you're on the YouTube site itself, like if you're not on the mobile version, it will still open it in the browser. But if you're on the mobile version of the site, it'll open it into the app. So they need to do it where besides the mobile version, on the regular version of the site, it'll still open it into the app. But it's damn good. I mean, you could subscribe to this right from the app now, and it's very smooth. Like I thought it was good before because I don't really subscribe and do all that stuff, but it's damn good now. So you can't really say much more than that. I haven't used a better app for it. Definitely not the PlayStation 3 app. That's for sure.
I was hoping for a PlayStation Store redesign to be based around the YouTube app because the YouTube app is that damn good.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
All right, moving along. Unusual multiplayer games. It's just, I swear, some of the big games recently have had the weirdest multiplayer modes. I mean, like, you look at Assassin's Creed 3's Risk mode, multiplayer thing, which I never even got working. That's why half the reason why I never did a video on that stupid game in the first place. And then you got Fight for Fortune, which is a downloadable card game that links into Golden Abyss. And then you've got the usual stuff like Call of Duty, and it's like, is this trend going to continue, or are we going to bend back towards the normal set of multiplayer style games?
I think probably we're gonna end up with whatever's popular, and it seems at this point that COD is the most popular one. So I think you're going to see some more regular multiplayer games because, I mean, as interesting as the AC3 Liberation's Risk game is and Fight for Fortune is.
Is it? Have you played the multiplayer of it?
I played the Risk a little bit, but I didn't just to check it out. But I think developers are saying this is something you can play quick. You don't have to jump into a 20-minute.
They want the asynchronous stuff, words with friends, where you send a word and then you wait for the other person to do it and get it back. But yeah, I think a lot of people. I think they're planning on a lot of people who own Vitas to want the phone experience. The ease of multiplayer that you have on your phone. But I don't think that's what people really want. I think they want the full multiplayer. They want Call of Duty. They want stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Little Big Planet's a good example.
If I could get Uncharted 2's or Uncharted 3's multiplayer on my Vita, I'd be crazy.
Oh man. Oh yeah. I mean, there's when we talk about what might be coming next year and stuff like that, we'll get into more of that. But oh man, even just the co-op, not even the multiplayer, which would be great, but even just the co-op would be fucking sick at that shit. But if they had come out with this card game, this weird little card game that just came out with
Fight for Fortune,
Uncharted. That would have been great multiplayer, as long as you can. I haven't played it, so I don't know how closely you could play multiplayer together. But assuming you could just go one-on-one back and forth pretty quick, that would be a great multiplayer. They could have done that with Uncharted way back when, but
it actually has a pass and play mode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It seemed interesting. I looked for the demo on the store to give it a shot to see if I liked it, but it wasn't available. So.
Well, it should be available now. I'm looking at the Vita subreddit, and someone submitted a link saying the demo's available now.
Yeah, that's why I looked, and I couldn't find it. That was strange, but Oh well.
No, but Ragnarok Odyssey's multiplayer works pretty well, I find.
They took it. Yeah, I mean,
And
it could have been better.
Sort of like Monster Hunter-like, and of course, Need for Speed's multiplayer. I think I found it works great. Like I've had great speed and fun. You know.
Yeah, like all these multiplayer games that the Need for Speed, the what is it, Call of Duty, they're all scaled down for the multiplayer. Like the Need for Speed is 4 players, I think, and Call of Duty 4. So maybe that's because the Vita isn't quite as powerful as the PS3, or maybe that's just they don't know what they're doing with the Vita yet, and it's going to take some time. So it's cool though. Little Big Planet does it pretty much better than the Little Big Planet 2, so you can't really complain there.
What I really want to know is what's so different about having, say, 8 players in Call of Duty compared to, say, 12? Because it's just a couple of extra player models and some more data being transferred back and forth, isn't it?
Yeah, but who knows? Who knows? It could be anything. That's up to the developers, I guess.
It's speculation. But although in Call of Duty, I will say, if the rumors are true and Nihilistic only had 5 months before they stopped being nihilistic and started making iPhone games, then it's basically just Burning Skies. That's all you're playing is Burning Skies online with Call of Duty weapons and scoring stuff. But nobody's really tried a great first-person shooter for the system. The only first-person shooters we have are from the same company. So when Killzone comes out, when maybe BioShock might have multiplayer even though Infinite doesn't. So there might be stuff to come. I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see if we get a God of War after Ascension. Maybe that they implement the multiplayer from Ascension into the Vita. That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
and of course you have a Battle Royale, of course.
Mm. Battle Royale is so good in so many areas and so bad in so many other areas. But it's like you can't fault the gameplay. The gameplay is perfect. Well, maybe not perfect, but it's damn good. And I can't wait to play Kat when she gets into the game. But it's so glitchy. It's so like when you try to sync your saves, there's no cloud sync. You can't just hit the cloud sync like you're in sound shapes. You got to just play online and hope that everything goes according to plan when you go over to the other system. And it's there's a lot of poorly thought. Like I wish they would have brought somebody from Queasy Games over to to just handle all the online. The trophies don't sync. The what is it? All your saves, like you get your character's levels, you get your unlocks mostly. They don't always come because like I've lost levels switching, but you get most of that stuff. But none of your customization options save. So like if you have a banner or a taunt or anything set like that, none of that's gonna cross over. So it seemed like a lot of the stuff, like they put a lot of time into gameplay and that's good, and then they didn't put a lot of time into the whole interface that they built. And the story.
Well, hey, but I mean, it's come on, it's a fighting game. How many fighting games do you know that have great stories?
Well, yeah, I get that, but you got Nolan North. You got the rumor was they had David Hayter. I don't see any Snake. So if Snake comes from DLC, we know they had David Hayter way back then. They have the dude from Cole, the dude who does Cole. They have all the voice actors from the games. And it just feels like it was wasted. Like it could have been better for the single player. The single player is just a grind to get through. You don't really get to the cutscenes. I didn't find very enjoyable, even though some of like the Drake one at the end was pretty funny, but I don't know. It just didn't click with me for the single player. And I was kind of looking forward to that.
That would have been a lot of fun if they did it right. I will admit that.
Well, I mean.
Right.
I understand that maybe it seems like a like a missed opportunity, but I think really when you're thinking of what Sony wanted to do with,
you're right, and I'm
just get the community playing together. Right?
I'm just saying I would have wanted more, but I have no problem with what they gave me. It's a great game. I got no issues whatsoever. In the next one I expect all that stuff, but for what it is. they put enough time into the gameplay to make the gameplay so much fun that I have no problem playing it whenever. I could play a 3-minute match and just have fun for hell of it. Even getting my ass kicked, it's great. All the strategy involved and all the specials, and actually looking for. My only problem is like Cat's going to be free, right, for the downloadable content, and that means probably a lot of people are going to be playing as her. So I kind of, even though people are going to hate charging for downloadable content, I kind of wish they would have charged for it to begin with. So a lot less people will be playing with it.
I think you're probably the only person who thinks that.
Yeah.
No, you're going to give me something for free? No, please let me pay for it. Please let me play for this.
Well, you know what the funny thing is? If you wait 2 weeks, you're
gonna 2 weeks after that DLC goes live, you're gonna see 4 matches of Cat nonstop going.
Hey, you never know. You never know. It depends on what her balance is, right?
Well, I hear she's pretty good. That's the problem. I hear she's like
knows?
her level is supposed to be.
Maybe they'll nerf her. They already nerfed Sackboy. He was too powerful, supposedly.
Did they? I heard it seemed like they nerfed Sly, because I was better with Sly in the beta, but I don't know.
Maybe in the last update they did for Battle Royale, they rebalanced Sackboy. But it's for any fighting game, especially with Seth Killian, the guy who helped resurrect Street Fighter from Capcom. He's gonna.
They all, everybody at Superbot did a damn good job building that game. Like, the gameplay is what matters, and they did a damn good job with it. I hope next time they do a little better with, everything else. Isn't it great to be playing the game, and then suddenly I'm playing as Fat Princess when I had Spike selected and stuff. That sucks, but that stuff will come with time. They were built to make that game, and I think they did okay with it, and it'll only get better.
Well, I don't supposed to be out to fix that.
Sorry?
They were supposed to release patch 1.02. I heard a heap of people going on about it, and it's not up. It should have been up.
I think they said that it's coming. I don't know if they gave a specific date on it. But
well, they said next week, and that was last week.
All right. Well,
who knows?
They got till Saturday.
There you go. Yeah. But what else is like AC Liberation, right? That we waited a while for that patch, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I haven't even played the game yet because of that patch. I stopped. Like,
yeah, I kind of slowed myself down because, I couldn't. Like, if I wanted to get rid of posters so that I could still walk around like a regular person in the game, I couldn't because I couldn't find them on the map. I don't know if that was fixed in the latest patch, but yeah. Oh well,
yeah,
I mean, it happens.
That's the only thing I did in that game, really. Like, I did one mission, and then I chased down a witness, which is great, because, they don't want you killing civilians, but you better kill those fucking witnesses.
Yeah, well, you think you have problems, Brennan. I am stuck at Sequence 5. I have nowhere to go to do a mission. Just nothing pops up on my map. It's ridiculous.
I haven't even heard of that. That's
no, neither have I.
Oh,
I just took it straight off my Vita. I just didn't give a shit anymore.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, it's one day you just have to do it and delete the save and go through with it. It's supposed to be, besides the glitches, it's supposed to be pretty good, but the glitches have been plentiful. Like, I've been playing Assassin's Creed 3 on the PlayStation, and that's been great, but like, I sort of slowed my roll a little bit because there was a lot of bugs in that game for a while until they came out with a big Thanksgiving Day patch, and that improved a lot of stuff. And there was a trophy glitch for people, and when they, after the patch, they got it, they'd log in, they get their trophy. So it's not the most efficient Ubisoft we've seen of late. So even though they make great games, like Ram.
Yeah, and the team that did AC3 Liberation, I think, was a new studio in Bulgaria, Sofia. So I think for one of their first games, not a bad outing, but hopefully they'll improve.
If you fix them and stuff, you got to meet a date. It's not really your choice. You can't really blame the developer for having to meet the date. But as long as they fix them, as long as everything gets fixed, that's all.
Well, I just have to say that, considering that Assassin's Creed 3 was so buggy, Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, sorry, It's so buggy. It pretty much just killed my interest in it. I'm a little bit ashamed of that.
Hey, well,
I remember Assassin's Creed 2 on the PlayStation 3. That was like the first game I really got into on the PlayStation 3 where I had to choose between Xbox and PlayStation 4. And I didn't get one trophy in that game. I didn't get the trophy for Sequence 7. It didn't pop. And I was so pissed because I had every other fucking trophy in the game. I didn't even realize it. So I was missing
For the uninitiated in here, IceBreak is like the craziest trophy whore you'll ever meet. Ever. I have one platinum on my streak. Like
I've got
at this point.
Yeah. It's whatever, but like I know people who put me to shame, so let's leave it at that.
Yeah, well, you've got me going there.
Like you get sometimes I get OCD about shit like that, and it like I didn't want to do it, and you know I put it away for a while, but then I went back later and played it and enjoyed it. It was cool, got the trophy. Although I will say when I got the trophy, that system went off like 5 seconds later. So yeah, sometimes just to see that 100%, you got to just power through. But I try not to do stuff where it's just for the trophy, except there. That bothered me. I had 1,000 on. I think that was my first 1,000 on Xbox. Was the first Assassin's Creed. So kind of had to keep that streak going.
You got me looking up IceBreak's profile on my Vita now just to see how much of a trophy whore he really is.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. It's definitely you're definitely the number one in my friends list. Jeez, but yeah.
Mine. I mean, it's I'm like level 17 or whatever. It's
with 33 platinum trophies.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're not as bad as some people I've seen, but you're still pretty bad. Get some help.
Yeah,
well, I mean, you know, it's good. You get
people
you
who
get the
put,
money out of your games, right?
There's people who put less time into games and have more to show for it. So, you know, I just try to do it for games like I enjoyed, except for the grinding in All-Stars, I enjoyed most of that stuff. So, you know, it got kind of long towards the end, you know, grinding with Fat Princess, who I hate playing with, and, you know, a couple other characters, but it's fun, you know, like Sound Shapes. I just got all the trophies in the new expansion packs, and that was fun. You know, I probably wouldn't have bought it if not for the trophies, but I didn't buy it because of the trophies. I bought it because it's Sound Shapes, and I like supporting the developer, and then it had trophies on top of it. And by the way, those Sound Shapes packs are 5 silvers each. That's crazy.
Wow.
It's like Sound Shapes just shits trophies. It's unbelievable. They just have some bronze between them.
So that's like 15 silver trophies for something you can look up on the internet.
15? Well, yeah, you could, but like even without doing it, it only took me like 30 minutes to get them all. So it's so easy. But like it's such a dichotomy with Sound Shapes because you know when the next pack's coming, it's going to be death mode again. So you know you have the easy beat mode on this side, and then you got death mode. You have beat school on one side, and then you have death mode to fucking just tear your hair out. I just love that. I love that stuff. But
make sure you inform me that if anybody in Queasy Games is within 500 meters of me, I will dash right at him and choke him to death. Those death mode levels are insane.
Did you finish it? The death mode?
No.
Sound Shapes is my only platinum. So.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a respectable one. I think that's a damn good one. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna play like a game like Hannah Montana or you know something like that. But like if it's a game that I enjoy and I'm playing it and it's a fun game, I wanna see that little special trophy next to it if I can get it.
Here's one question: If you have the platinum, if anybody has the platinum from Mortal Kombat Vita, you must seriously have a problem. You must seriously have a problem.
Yeah.
The trophies in that game are insane.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it's not having a problem; it's having no life. Is the problem.
You have to play 24 hours with every character, right?
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Insane.
I'm gonna look that up right now. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and you have to beat the game with every character and do the special like every special with every character and et cetera, et cetera. It's crazy. But anyways,
you know,
other than two other things, what do you guys think of the first year of the Vita?
Oh, there was actually something else I wanted to talk about first. PlayStation Mobile. How's that doing?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't really put much time into it. I bought that Super Crate box that came out and sort of just moved on from it.
So no change with you two?
Although that means it's supposed to be free right now, so.
Yeah, I downloaded Lemmings, and we definitely got to try that, because I have fond memories of that game.
I noticed something, though. That game, Puzzy Ball, it was originally free, but it's gone up to 99 cents for some reason.
Oh.
Well, that's what they do. Like, on iOS, what they do is they'll put out a game for free, and then it'll sell a bunch of copies. A lot of people will buy it, download it for free, whatever you want to call it, and then after a while, they'll put the price tag back on it, and it'll be way high up on the list, so it'll have gained notoriety and stuff, and then people will end up buying it even though it was just free.
But the funny thing is, the same developers made another game, which also came out as free and has downloadable content to pay for it, but it hasn't gone up to 99 cents yet.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they're just trying out different monetary things, but I mean, this happens all the time,
Yeah, I think PlayStation Mobile has a long way to go before it's really anything. But, there's potential there. There's potential.
Also, I hate Alien Breed. I downloaded that because I thought Team 17 might have done something half decent. And then next thing you know, they put arseloads of paid DLC in it. It's I just hate it.
That's how they make their games. That's how they make their money. So if you're upset with that, you can always grab a cheap game like Mutant Blob Attacks for $7.99, right?
Free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hello, advertising people.
Please
give me some more free games. All right, well, let's move on to the year in review, shall we? Lackluster sales at the beginning of the year.
Pretty much the whole year, not just the beginning.
Oh, well, come on. We got 130,000 sales on Black Friday.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the whole week, but yeah.
Well, they got drop price. When they drop price in the next year, release a few other great games like Killzone and Soul Sacrifice. I think the Vita will be better in sales. I don't think Sony's going to drop the platform. I don't think they can't stop competition with Nintendo. They can't do it. Like, it's a marketing standpoint. So,
well, I mean, like Sony. Sorry.
To recap the year real quick, to recap what we got. I mean, we got the shitty sales, but that's not the whole story. Like,
oh no.
Remember, I didn't know what to expect with this when I got it, and I only got it really because I saw Uncharted on a handheld, and that like blew my mind. But I think the Vita had a damn good year besides the sales.
IceBreak, you got something going on with your mic.
I do. Huh.
Yeah, you sound like you're getting further away every couple of seconds.
Let me take the mic out and talk. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, everything seems okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, it seems okay.
Alright. So, what was I talking about? The Vita is good. It's good besides sales. That is such a controversial opinion for this podcast, but still, it had a damn good year, I think, besides the shitty sales and gloomy future. Well,
considering this is its launch year, this is one of the best launch years I've ever heard of in the history of gaming. Yeah,
I mean, Rayman, Uncharted, Gravity Rush, Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear 3.
Need for Speed.
Persona 4, that game you like that I don't even remember.
Zero Escape.
Yeah, Retro City Rampage, Sound Shapes. I mean, these are just things off the top of my head that were great, So, it is what it is. But the problem is, even though it's great don't sell. We've established that with Call of Duty. Great isn't going to make the bank. You just got to have name. You have to have appeal. And it don't got appeal, so.
That's a bit of a shame.
Not until they drop the price, at least.
Yeah, but even then, I'm not really, like, I have hopes for the future, but I don't know if just the price drop is going to do it. I think the PlayStation 4 needs to be firmly integrated with the system.
Yeah, but I don't think having the PlayStation 4 integrated with the Vita is going to make people go and buy a handheld. I mean, they're going to buy the handheld for the games on the handheld.
Let me ask you this. If every single game on the PlayStation 4 had remote play, every single game, You don't think that would have a pretty big impact?
Oh, that would have a big impact.
Oh, if you sure it might, but I mean, it's essentially getting into the Wii U territory, right? And I mean that's cool and all.
Between the Wii U and that is you can take a Vita over the internet and remote play wherever. The connection.
Have you ever played a game over internet?
No. But they got Gaikai. They bought Gaikai, right? So maybe they use some Gaikai that can make it work actually in the future. So they have that potential. I don't know if they're going to do it. I think the only downside to remote play is going to be Sony. Like, I think every game can support it going forward because it's just memory. Like it's just, being able to stream the game while playing the game. That's all that you're going to have to do. And that's why we don't see it on most PlayStation 3 games because you got to splice off some memory to do it. And, you got to put out a patch and all that. So I think it's got potential. I don't know if Sony's going to go that route, although I thought PlayStation Plus had potential and wasn't sure Sony was going to go big with it, and I'm glad they did. It's what they had to do, and I hope they keep doing it. So,
okay, let's talk about upcoming games then. Let's just start with what's coming out in December. Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. I'm actually looking forward to that one. Apparently it's really good on console.
Yeah, we'll see what the Vita version's like.
Yeah, some people were posting screenshots of it on NeoGAF, and it looked pretty good. Really did. I mean, like, it was missing a few shadows and all that, but I honestly don't mind. If shadows aren't technically relevant, getting rid of them on a handheld port is A-okay.
Yeah, and I heard that it's one of the only kart games that holds a candle to Mario Kart, even better in some respects. So, yeah, sure, sounds great.
They said the same thing about Diddy Kong Racing, though.
Yeah.
On the N64? I didn't mind it. I didn't mind that game, But I was a kid when I played it, so, who knows?
Well, I mean, like, the DS remake of it got a 50 on Metacritic.
Oh, God.
It did not deserve a 50 on Metacritic, I'll put it that way. Oh, man.
Not a fan.
Second best karting game I've ever played. Unfortunately, not on the Vita right now. It's Crash Team Racing.
Oh, yeah.
For PS1.
People love that one, yeah. I don't think I ever played it, yeah. But
it's made by Naughty Dog.
People love
the
it.
Same people who make
Uncharted. That's what Naughty Dog has done up till now. That's what they've done. They went Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, 3, karting. They went Jak and Dexter 1, 2, 3, karting. And now they're at number 3 on Uncharted, and everybody thinks it's going to be karting again. So.
I just can't imagine that.
Oh.
Just imagine Donut Drake from Uncharted Fight for Fortune as a character.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's been one in the last 2 games, so it'll be interesting.
Alright, moving along. Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD. Never got a chance to play this one. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think I'll grab that one, yeah. I mean, I like the Oddworld games, And of course you can grab the first 2 originals on PS1 Classics for $9.99 each.
Yeah, some of them, I think both of them were given away for Plus early on. Like, they were some of the first games that people got.
Yeah, like early in the year, yeah. So, but,
Yeah, well, then again, the new and tasty HD remake is coming to Vita as well.
Yeah, that I'm looking forward to. I'm not really so much into the Munch's Odyssey, but the new and tasty looks really good from what I've seen, so definitely give that a shot.
Yeah, sure. I can't wait for that. The one thing that annoys me about Abe's Odyssey is the fact that the screen scrolls so damn often.
Oh, well, yeah. It's like an old school. It's like Mega Man,
Yeah,
but I mean, Mega Man, playing the Mega Man games on the Vita, still awesome. Still a great game,
How is Mega Man on PS1 Classics? I've been looking at it.
Oh, yeah. I've got the first 2. Great. I play perfect. Perfect.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of the new emulators for, like, Update 2.0?
Oh, okay, that's a good... Yeah, that's a good thing.
Nice. I grabbed both the GTA PSP games because of that. So now I can set the... sort of use the right stick as a camera. Sort of.
What about Siphon? Have you tried Siphon Filter yet with the new button scheme?
Well, the thing is, it didn't really need it. Because triangle, square, X, circle were all fine to work with in the first place. But still, that game is absolutely amazing on Vita. The only reason I moved it off is because the multiplayer is dead and Resistance Retribution is the only choice you have.
Yeah.
But if you haven't played Siphon Filter, Dark Mirror, and Logan's Shadow, go out and buy them right now. You can get them both in double packs with SOCOM Fire Team Bravo 1 and Killzone Liberation, which are good games in their own rights. And they're great third-person shooters. They're brilliant. It's just a shame that the multiplayer doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I remember playing them on the PSP and loving them, but yeah, I have them on UMD, sadly, so...
And Resistance Retribution is the one you want to pick up if you want to support Bend as well, because they made Resistance Retribution, and then they made Uncharted Golden Abyss, so they appear to be Sony's main spin-off guys.
Yeah, and they made the Siphon Filter games.
Yeah, Siphon Filter is brilliant as well. Oh, but the funny thing is about Bend, you know what they made before Siphon Filter? Bubsy 3D. If you don't know what that game is, go look it up on YouTube. Although I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned this on this podcast already. Okay, moving along again. Possible December releases. Burn the Rope and Kickbeat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Burn the Rope, I think, is out in Europe right now, so...
Really?
I thought I heard that, so I'm not...
I need to get 3 Vitas, one for Europe, one for Japan, and one for US.
Yeah, you do that.
I need to import that sick-ass Soul Sacrifice Vita that they got going, which we'll talk about soon.
Yeah, that is like the one reason I would want a Japanese account is to give that game a try on the 20th when it comes out for the demo.
Totally.
Yeah, I got my little 4 gig card from my old 4 gig card, so I'll do that I think this month.
Well, like that's the problem though. When you switch accounts, you have to like reset your Vita to the factory settings. Like you can swap memory cards for the same account. So like if your account is on both memory cards, you can swap. I think your icons get unsorted, but besides that, everything else stays. But when you switch accounts, doing that, you have to reset everything, and it's pretty shitty, from what I hear.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it personally.
Oh, and Burn the Rope is out in Europe right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's just like an iOS game. That's not, that's not really anything.
We still haven't got an
Kickbeat
Amen, though, which is a bit depressing. We were supposed to get that like weeks ago.
Which one, sorry?
Amen.
Oh, I hadn't heard very much about that one, but
Yeah.
I'm sort of more into the big release. But there's a ton of them that I still haven't played yet this year. Jeez, how could I have not played Rayman Origins yet?
You haven't played Rayman Origins?
Do you hear the sound of me face palming over the microphone?
I'm waiting for a sale, I'm not going to pay... I could get it for $30 on Steam. I'm not going to pay an extra $10 for the Vita version.
It's arguably the best game in the system. Like, I would probably give it to Gravity Rush, but it's arguably the best game on the system. Just that easy.
Yeah.
It is really hard.
That was the first game I played on the Vita, and it fucking floored me. Like...
Oh, the devil's gorgeous.
I'm the Rayman fan. Like, I love Rayman back in the PlayStation 1 days when it was 2D, which I think was just one game. But it's like so damn good. Like, you can't even put it into words how good that game is at times. It's just so much fun.
It's perfectly designed. It's got some of the best graphics I've ever seen on any sort of screen.
You know what? I highly recommend playing Rayman, the PS1 classic, before dropping into Origins.
So what, you get that time fuck sort of thing where it's like
there's a few things missing and you don't get all your abilities as quick. So like flying and running and all that stuff you get a lot later on. So it kind of warms you up, and then when you start playing Origins, you're just going to be blown away. It's just amazing.
Good advice.
There's also a game called Ant Raid coming out soon, and IceBreak doesn't have that on his upcoming games list. Thanks a lot.
Is that a PS Mobile title, or is that a...
No, it's an iOS game that's being ported to a full-on PS Vita title. I don't understand it either.
That comes out this month?
I don't know. They didn't have a date. But anyway, moving along from that, because it's obvious you two are just staring at you.
All I do is update it with what you guys give me. So.
Fair enough. Well, I was going to post it, but then I realized, I'm too lazy. Officially announced 2013 games. Big Sky Infinity, fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yes. This game actually comes out next week.
There you go.
It'll be in the next week's update, and I'm getting a copy of it straight from the devs.
The official one, I think. So.
Well, I'm getting a copy of it straight from the devs. I got interviews with the guys who are making Knit Underground and Big Sky Infinity, and I'm getting copies of those two games before they come out. And I will have videos of them ready by the game's launch dates.
Moving up.
Nice. Look at you. Look at you moving up. You're
Yeah,
a shill already. You're a shill already for the devs. Oh,
yep.
Blue. Oh no.
Oh, well, you worried I'm going to sell out, Brennan?
Well, I'm not worried about that. It's funny. It's see if your reviews are different in comparison to a free version of the game or a non-free version of the game.
But the thing is, I loved Really Big Sky, and according to the interview I had with the developer of Really Big Sky and Big Sky Infinity, Big Sky Infinity is just an enhanced port of Really Big Sky. I mean, I say that in the best way possible, because he said he did add a few things, like a new mode and new announcer quirks and asynchronous multiplayer, which I have no idea how that's going to work. But it's it's going to be an absolutely amazing
game. And I think the PS3 version of that game has local co-op, but not online co-op.
Well,
so
can't have it all.
Strange.
Yeah, but I am really looking forward to that game. I'm probably going to give it glowing reviews all around, because apparently it's running at full resolution on the Vita at 60 FPS. So it's going to be about as brilliant as Mora.
Yeah, Mora, actually, I played the demo for that. It's okay. It was fun enough, but it didn't move as fast as for me. But
oh, well, get a load of Big
Infinity. From what I've seen, it looks beautiful, actually, at this point.
Yeah, play that as soon as you get the chance. I promise you won't be disappointed.
They're all side-scrolling shooters, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're just bloody lovely, all of them. Let's move along then. Binding of Isaac. Hell yes. Campaigned for this one, and we got it.
That should be. I love Team Meat's games. I really want. I've played the hell out of Super Meat Boy. So I'll be interested to grab this one. I haven't played it yet.
Oh my god, how have you not played it yet?
I don't have as much time to play games as you, Blue. I try, but
well, it's let me just say that it's harder than you think to actually keep my YouTube channel running. I actually do a lot more work behind the scenes than people realize.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard sometimes, but it's worth it. I mean, chances are I'll pass 1,000 subscribers by either the end of this year or halfway through January. So, yeah.
Congratulations, almost.
Does anybody have a party favor? Dead or Alive 5 Plus. This one came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Ninja Gaiden 2 Plus.
Oh, I hated Sigma 1.
Oh, I liked it. I never played them before. I'd never played it before. I really liked it, actually.
I hated Sigma 1 because the controls felt so laggy and floaty underneath my fingers. Oh, God. Felt like I was playing at 25 FPS or something.
Well, I think they are known for their difficulty, the Ninja Gaiden games, so.
But it was I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2 before on my computer, right? And I was playing at 25 FPS because my computer couldn't handle it because I hadn't updated my drivers properly. And, it felt really laggy under my fingers. My mouse movements, my button movements took forever to replicate themselves on the screen. And then I realized this is just like what I was having problems with in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, because whenever I pressed a button, it would take ages to do what I wanted it to do.
Oh, I didn't feel like I had that problem at all. But, I'm looking forward to Sigma Plus 2. That's coming in 2013, March or something, I think, is when they announced it for Japan. Yeah. And, they said they made enough money on Sigma Plus 1, and then...
Which is, a good sign, I guess. You wouldn't expect that for a Vita title. We made enough money. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, well, they made enough money to make a port. It's not that much.
I mean, a port isn't as easy as it sounds. If you haven't started making the game from scratch on the system, it's not the easiest thing. We're not going to see Grand Theft Auto 3. That would make them sell 1 million copies and stuff.
That would be awesome, actually. Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas.
And they got to add trophies and all that. The port isn't as easy as it sounds.
Well, the thing is, the Vita is actually based off the iPad 2's hardware. So It's like, it can't be that difficult if people are making games like at the drop of a hat for the iPad.
Actually, the Vita's only been matched by the new iPads, the third or fourth generation iPad now. So I don't think it was based off the iPad 2 architecture, but I think it's maybe similar. Like it was the iPad 2 has a dual core processor, but the Vita has a 4-core processor, from what I understood. So it's a little bit different, but I mean,
no matter what, it's going to be passed real soon by phones and everything. But it's still going to be a great gaming machine, the most powerful, dedicated handheld gaming machine.
Look at the PlayStation 3. It's a 7-year-old tech. Still looks just as good.
PC can do PlayStation 3 20 times over, but still holding its own for video games.
Oh yeah.
Just looking through this little list here. Dragon Fantasy Book 2. That's looks kind of interesting for a retro RPG at the very least.
Oh, the 16-bit one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, looks interesting.
We haven't heard anything about Dragon's Crown recently. That kind of concerns me, except for the fact that Atlas, or was it Atlas that stepped in to help the previous publisher with the problems that it was having?
Okay.
That sounds
well,
right.
if they did, then it'll be great, I'm sure. Atlas is one of the best publishers out there, I think.
Kind of a shame they didn't put Persona 4 Arena on the Vita.
Oh yeah, a bit of a shame. But...
Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe they will at some point. Who knows?
Yeah,
it'd be nice.
Go out and buy Persona 4 and tell them that it's.
There you go. Yeah, well, someday, maybe.
Yeah.
Someday.
Earth Defense Force. Oh god, I want this game so badly. Earth Defense Force 2017 portable.
Yep, yeah, I've heard a lot about that one.
Oh god, I want that so damn badly, and I know a couple of people who actually have it right now, the Japanese version, and I want to punch them in the face. Don't tell them I said that.
Well, you'll get it at some point. Don't worry.
I know. I just don't want to wait.
Yeah, it's not like PSO where we don't even know if it's coming to America. So.
Yeah, that closed beta though, 50,000 entrants, and yeah, it sounds like they're really moving along with it. It's like it's not going to be one of those projects that Sega's just going to chuck in the bin.
Yeah, I think they're
hopefully
they should be. It's a free to play MMO, right? But with DLC, I don't think it's that expensive to really pop it over. I mean, so
the main problem would be translating it.
No, because they're putting it out on the PC. That's not going to be the main problem. Is going to be Vita sales, but time will tell.
Well, it's not like it can really make any money unless people start buying stuff.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I think somebody amended their projection of the projection of Vita sold to like 10 million, and it doesn't even look like they're going to hit that for like February or whatever. So I don't know. Certain things keep me skeptical, but I have a lot of hope later on. Like I have a feeling like when we get the price drop, it's probably going to be around E3. It's not going to be as soon at the beginning of the year as it should be probably. But once the PlayStation 4 gets out in the wild and people start filling up their PlayStation Plus collection, I think we'll see more Vitas moving than kind of like the PlayStation, where even though the PlayStation was still moving better, the PlayStation 3. I think we'll see more Vitas moving and more developers coming on, ready to go. And it would be smart of Sega to put PSO a free game where they just make money from downloadable content, so people are just going to play it. Put that on the system.
Sure. I mean, they're doing it in Japan, and the original PSO on Dreamcast was actually quite popular in North America, so why not? And in Europe as well.
Dreamcast and Xbox, love that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, we can cross...
Soul Sacrifice, maybe?
Well, I'm just working my way down this list here. I'm not going to point out how IceBreak has mixed up F and G in the alphabet here. History's Legends of War Baton.
Sounds like you want to volunteer to do this from now on.
As I said, I'm not going to mention it. History's Legends of War Baton. That was supposed to come out. I think it did on PlayStation 3, but it didn't on Vita. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's crap. No, move on.
All right. Well, Knit Underground we already talked about, but that's going to be pretty good as well. Same with Killzone. Lone Survivor. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. That was pretty good on PC.
Look, that's the one like Borderlands, right? Or is that not that one?
No. This one's sort of like a zombie. It's like an indie game, like an 8-bit sort of zombie horror survival thing.
Okay, I don't know.
Not based on, not combat based. Actually, it looks really good. It's won a bunch of awards this year. It's one of those great indie games that are coming to the Vita that, like Retro City Rampage, etc. That sort of feel, but in horror zombie like. It looks great. I'll grab it on the Vita.
I don't know if I need another Retro City Rampage. I like Retro City Rampage a lot. It was a lot of fun. I don't know.
It's nothing like Retro City Rampage.
Well, it's just like, it's one of those indie games that...
Like, but I mean like a 8-bit, that was my 8-bit feel for a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, well,
Oh, well, I'll just smash you in the face with a hammer until you change your mind. Rainbow Moon? I heard that.
Yeah, I mean, Rainbow Moon, I don't know why they don't do cross-buy reversed, where you get the Vita version and you get the PS3 version, instead of...
Well, I think
because
actually...
what?
I think Just Add Water actually chipped in on this. It costs them too much to have the two in the cross-buy function. They have to sell them separately.
I get that because they don't want to give people who bought the PlayStation 3 version a copy. But if they give it, who's buying it for the PlayStation 3 today? 3 people? 4 people? Maybe 5?
I couldn't tell you. I'd like to see sales numbers from Sony.
Yeah, they never put it out. But if you make it like the opposite of All Stars, where if you buy it for the Vita, you get it for free for the PS3, but not reversed. The people will be pissed off who bought the PS3 version, but how much can you complain when you bought it that long ago and this game just came out? So it's kind of hard to want to buy that game that's got a trophy for playing 100 hours long. You can't even play on the PS3. You have to buy a separate copy. It's too much for me, personally.
Well,
I haven't played it on the PS3. If it's interesting, I'll grab it. But
the thing about it is it doesn't have cross save or anything like that, so you can't.
I thought they were trying to do that. They aren't. That's confirmed.
Yeah, they said on Twitter that apparently the Vita has some sort of file size limit that prevents it from doing it.
Oh, all right.
Shrug. I keep doing those visual cues on my laptop, and I'm thinking people are going to see them.
Well, maybe it'll lend itself better to being portable. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. People like the Persona, so they'll probably like that. Sounds like as much time. So
the funny thing is, well, if it doesn't have cross-save or cross-buy, they'll probably have 2 sets of trophies. Wink, wink, IceBreak.
Yeah, I don't buy... I might buy downloadable content for trophies, but I don't buy games for trophies. I don't play games for trophies, so...
I'm sorry, but
I gotta admit, I did like the sound chips. I kind of got just for the trophies. The not the game, but the downloadable content.
Well,
Let me know. IceBreak, you suffer.
Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next game on the
list. Something that actually is cross-buy and cross-play. Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault.
Yeah.
Well, coming out in January or February for the Vita.
Sale. That game. Why do they have to push out the PlayStation 3 version in December when it's a cross-buy title? They couldn't just hold that back until the Vita version came out and was ready.
I really don't know. It's like what happened?
That game is not going to do well because of that, especially on the Vita. That killed it, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? I mean, I'll probably buy it when it comes out anyway, because you know me, I'm the buying whore. IceBreak's the trophy whore. But Rockabirds Hard-Boiled Chicken.
No idea.
Yeah,
it's like a 2D side scroller type thing, I think. It's not Angry Birds. It's nothing like Angry Birds, which is what it puts into your head when you first hear it, because it was originally an iOS game, I think. Maybe a PC game, I don't know.
I think it was iOS got ported to PC.
Yeah.
That's all I know about it. We haven't heard anything about Too Many Robots recently. This is the 2D
Borderlands one. That one looks pretty damn good. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, I played it on PC, and okay, I can sum it up in one really, really long word: boring.
Didn't like it, huh?
It didn't have the charm or the drive to level up like you got in Borderlands 2. I'll say that much.
Oh well.
It felt like, I was playing a bunch of drunken hicks, but it feels like you're playing a bunch of drunken hicks. I realize this is probably the worst analogy ever,
That actually sounds pretty fun.
It's okay. It's just not as good because it doesn't give you the drive that you need to keep coming back to it. That's my main problem with it. If it had a little bit,
do they have the guns where you upgrade the guns constantly in Borderlands?
Does it? No, not noticeably. From what I remember, not noticeably. I'd love to see something like Red Nation, because Red Nation on PC was absolutely incredible. Dual-stick shooter related to zombies with all sorts of weapons and power-ups and all that. That game was brilliant. It'd be brilliant on Vita. It's a great portable experience. It's just I can't see that happening.
Here's one, Hotline Miami coming to Vita, right?
Yeah, that's supposed to be good. And I think that's coming, right? That's confirmed.
Yeah, I played that one on the PC. Great game.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
This is actually a little bit of a long story. I actually have a review thing with Good Old Games where I can get games that they're going to release a few weeks early. I got Hotline Miami before all this buzz started being generated about it, and I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? I started playing it, holy shit, my eyes nearly burned out of the sockets. That game was brilliant, even halfway through development when I played it. Holy God.
Yeah, and they're making a sequel already, I think.
Yeah, but, nowhere near ready. Like, it'll be a year at least.
Yeah, well, that's still, I'll grab it. Great game. Worth getting.
Thumbs up. Also, it's like off right now on so...
Wait.
What's coming to the Vita? Wait for the Vita.
Yeah,
the Vita needs help.
Jesus.
Alright, fine, I'll just bleep out that last bit. You know me, I'm good at editing. Let's see, Starlight Inception. I'm actually proud of the guys who did the Kickstarter for this because they keep updating it every week.
Yeah, I'm interested in this.
Was that that was the Kickstarter, yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
coming to PC, PS3, and Vita.
Yep.
And I don't think it's coming to Xbox, is it? Or was that Binding of Isaac?
It's not, no. Binding of Isaac is coming to everything.
Okay.
But, well, that does remind me, I'm still waiting for my goddamn Twilight Zone table on Pinball Arcade, because they kickstarted that, and, yeah, it went through. Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time.
That's probably the one I'm most looking forward to that's on that list, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, the Gravity Rush and unannounced stuff. But, yeah.
Tear away.
Yeah.
Tear this game away from me.
I'm kind of medium moleculed out. I don't know. I want to get back into Little Big Planet Vita because it is a damn good game. It's just, I don't know. Too much time in the first two, and they were great.
Soul Sacrifice. Let's actually jerk off on this one now. That Red Vita that they're going to release in that bundle is going to be absolutely amazing. If only I could get it.
But I tell you, the best part of that whole bundle is that damn case. That case looks so slick.
Oh, God, I wish I could.
I'll be grabbing that game for sure. That's a day one, I think, for me.
Yeah,
I think for most people. How
much do we even know about the game? We've seen a little bit here and there. Like,
there's tons of gameplay out there.
What would you equate it to? Because I haven't really seen much gameplay.
Imagine like Monster Hunter, but like with magic, and sort of like a Guillermo del Toro sort of monster like.
Yeah, I know it's very dark. Like you choose to save or kill your teammate or something like that.
Yeah, if they die, you can sacrifice them. You can sacrifice parts of your body to get better magic.
Yeah.
So you can sacrifice your eye. Yeah, I mean it's something new and interesting that's coming out. So great.
Always nice to have one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, this game is going to be completely unique, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, we're going to find out on December 20, aren't we? Because there's going to be like a shitload of videos based on the demo that are just going to come out on the internet.
Well, there's already tons of stuff like pre-release stuff. Right? You can check out now. The game doesn't come out till March 7th, I heard, in Japan.
Yeah,
so.
That's right.
It's still got a while to go. I mean, they were supposed to release it in December, I heard, and after TGS said, no, let's push it back. He wants to make it perfect, and this is Keiji Inafune, I think, the inventor of Mega Man. Mm-hmm. So he's usually pretty good with gameplay, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was reading the blog post of that, and like the story of the Leviathan, and it's all very, very, very dark, very interesting. I'd like to see some gameplay, but it's definitely got my attention for damn sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Urban Trial Freestyle. Now, every time I look at this game, I think, why can't Trials Evolution be on the Vita? Because it would be perfect for this sort of thing.
Okay.
I haven't seen Urban Styles Freestyle. It's pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah. Except
Okay.
it's all in a city. But it's just... Although, that makes me think of something. Is it too dangerous to have too many games that are based around user-generated content on one system?
I don't know about that.
What brings that question into your mind?
Oh, well, I just think about, I constantly have thoughts about how user-generated content is the future of gaming, because eventually there'll be a shitload of games where there'll be nothing but user-generated content, because look at Minecraft. Minecraft was the one that started all, and then there's Little Big Planet, and then you got,
I think Little Big Planet was actually out before Minecraft, but... I don't think that'll happen. I think you'll always have a place for structured, professional, single-player campaign, or professional structured levels.
I mean, it's a genre. It's not
like every game's going to be in a JRPG, right? But I mean, I think they're great, especially for a portable device.
They did it in Infamous, and it was okay.
Yeah, I do agree with that. But just imagine if, like, I just can't get the thought out of my head that something's going to get hurt if there's, like, too many user-generated content games on one platform. Like, imagine if the next Siphon Filter had a map editor and, a challenge editor or something like that. Imagine if Infamous came out on the Vita and had user-generated content. Then you've got sound shapes.
Infamous 2 has user-generated content.
Yeah, but imagine if it came out on the Vita. Imagine if this was on the Vita.
I expect it would have user-generated content too. It's like a small, like on the Infamous 2 on the PlayStation 3. That's such a small part of the game. It's nothing. It doesn't affect the story. It doesn't affect really anything. It's just these little missions you can do after you've done everything else. It's cool.
Yeah, I know. It's just I keep getting the feeling that something's going to get hurt.
You're
did
wrong.
anybody notice?
It's just that simple. You're just wrong. There's nothing.
Well, actually, I have a little bit of evidence to correlate what I'm saying. Retarded mouth. But remember how when Little Big Planet came out, the amount of sound shapes levels just started dropping dramatically?
Okay. The sound shapes also got older, and people beat most of the levels, and
Yeah, sure. But
I love sound shapes, but I don't play it as much as I did when it came out. That's a new game came out. It's not really a new.
Probably because you platinum it.
What I love most about sound shapes is there's no trophies. So people, not even people like me, because when I try to make levels, I try to actually make levels for the trophy. I don't just put out trophy horde, give me points and stuff. But like in Little Big Planet, you have to get 50 people playing your level. You have to play I don't know how many levels and do all that stuff. And earlier it was like you had to get hearted and all that. And that makes it difficult because your content is skewed because you have people just doing it for the trophy. Whereas sound shapes, every single level is meant to be played. Every single one. Nobody makes a level that they don't want to be played. Not to mention the fact that you have to make them before you can upload them, which you don't have to do for Little Big Planet levels, which is stupid. But Little Big Planet is not taking away customers from Sound Shapes. Sound Shapes had its sales, it had its content, but that stuff is going to skew down slowly. It's not going to be there forever. And then they come out with these downloadable content packs, and that's going to boost it up a little while, and then it's going to go back down. Doesn't mean the levels are going away. They're still going to be there. It's still going to be fun to play. So.
All right, yeah, I was just, having random thoughts.
Yeah,
I really got to stop saying them out loud. Okay, the last two games have the same question behind them. What the hell happened to Warriors Lair and Zone of the Enders HD?
Yeah, no idea.
We don't know what it's going to be when it comes out. It's gonna be something. I mean, even if it's, hopefully it's not a holistic situation, but it'll be something. But Zone of the Enders, I don't know how Konami can't just say it's not coming or it is coming. They just, I guess they no comment it or nobody asked them. Who knows?
Yeah, just where the hell are they? It surprises me how long developers will sit on a project and then they'll announce it's cancelled like 3 months after anybody's heard anything from the projects.
Yeah, well, Konami's been pretty horrible on that front recently, so.
Yeah. But so, with War Thunder, you gotta remember, the Vita is only, 11 months old in America?
Yeah, it's true.
11 months?
Content. I don't think we have a Shadow of the Colossus, or what's the game? That hasn't even...
Oh yeah, Last Guardian.
Yeah, I don't think we have a Last Guardian.
Ever comes up.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least you actually get news about that. Just sitting here waiting for news on Zone of the Enders. Nothing, more nothing.
Yeah, well, hopefully it comes out. I would buy it. So, listen to me, Konami. I will buy it if you give it to me.
Metal Gear came out on the PlayStation 3 before it came out on the Vita. And then they had to patch in the transferring and all that. So, probably be the same.
Yeah, I feel like that Konami kind of screwed over people who played PS3 before they picked up their Vita copies because you couldn't transfer saves over. I'm sure they could have fixed that some way, shape, or form.
It'll be the same. If it ever does come out, it'll be the same for Zone of the Enders.
Yeah, but I mean...
Two separate purchases, no cross-buy. That's probably part of the reason they did it. So they could sell two separate versions of the game instead of people asking for cross-buy versions.
Maybe. Who knows?
If it still exists.
Or maybe the company that made the MGS version for Vita was Bluepoint Games, right? And they were working on the Superbot Vita PlayStation All-Stars. So maybe that's their next game coming up. Who knows?
And credit to them, I think the menus and interfaces on the Vita are twice as good as the ones on the PlayStation 3, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, Bluepoint Games is pretty great, actually. They're porters, but they're good at what they do.
Yep.
Yeah, I just hope they stick with that, to be honest, because, I mean, sometimes porters go really bad, and then sometimes porters turn into Gearbox software.
Well, that's why, actually, about Zone of the Enders, like, it sounds like they built it for the 360, like, they ported it to the 360, and then they moved the 360 version to the PlayStation 3. So, even though the game was originally on the PlayStation 2, it runs better on the Xbox 360 than it does on the PlayStation 3.
I don't know.
That's, wait, really? That just sounds weird.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, because the 360 is easier to develop for and stuff, and it's the more popular platform. But yeah, it's strange because you would think.
Hey, now they're equal, right? Worldwide.
Yeah, they are.
70 million.
They did outsell the 360 did outsell the PlayStation 3 on Black Friday, which was a little surprising to me.
Yeah, only in North America. Everywhere else
true.
in the world.
That's a good point. Because it was kind of strange. They caught up to him, and then they pulled back away again. It was a little odd. But yeah, that's because of Europe. Europe is all PlayStation 3. America's all Xbox 360, and Japan is all 3DS. That's all they give a fuck about. 3DS and phone.
Japan has 8 million PS3s and less than 1 million Xboxes, so that's where they're making up a lot of their numbers.
But I think Xbox just outsold them or something for like the first month ever. Like outsold PS3s. I could be wrong. Who cares?
In Japan.
Okay, so when Monster Hunter come out on Xbox,
getting less and less every day, which they're going more into the handheld, which is kind of bad news for the Vita because they don't give a fuck about the Vita. But they're going more into the handheld and iOS and phone stuff. So that's where the research is.
I know I've already asked this question before on a different one, but what games are your favorite games to play on the PSP and Vita? On the PSP and PS1, I'm sorry. Because we've only been at this for an hour and a half. It's pretty short by our standards.
I grabbed the GTA games and I was playing Vice City Stories. Feels just like playing GTA Vice City back on my PC back in the day. Loving that.
The thumbsticks work well?
Yeah, actually, if you can, how it works, right, is to make the camera move. Originally on the PSP, you'd have to click the L down, left trigger button down, and then move the left stick. But you can just actually clone the stick, and so you can go L and then use the right hand thing to do it, and you're fine. But it controls great, actually.
So you still have to hold L to move the camera with the right
Yeah, because you can't put two buttons down for one thing. I wish you could, but
yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. You would think that like for huge games like Vice City and God of War and stuff, they would come out with like a patch special.
No, why? They don't have time.
Well,
they've got other stuff to do. They've already sold like 8 million copies of those games. It's the highest selling game on the PSP, other than Monster Hunter. So I don't think they're worried about that very much. But I bought them for half price.
Like you hear the rumors about Call of Duty and how much Sony paid for Call of Duty to get Call of Duty on the Vita, and like you just wonder why couldn't they pay for Monster Hunter? You know, why couldn't they have paid twice as much as they paid for Call of Duty for Monster Hunter?
Maybe Nintendo paid a little bit more.
Yeah. There you go.
Nintendo. I'm starting to hate Nintendo lately, mainly because they took away bloody Monster Hunter.
Well, I mean, we got alternatives, and Nintendo does their thing. And they make gaming better by doing their thing. You know.
Games, whatever they do, it's all is fair in love and war, man. So.
I may not like Mario 3DS Land, but don't mean Nintendo doesn't make brilliant games. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, two of the best games ever made.
Oh yeah.
It's can't even put it into words.
Yeah, you really can't. Those games are brilliant.
Pretty much every Nintendo Love Fest.
On a Vita podcast. Really need to stop doing that because we're just going to end up doing something. IceBreak, what's your favorite PSP game to play?
I do not have one.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have... I have Little Big Planet on my Vita right now for the PSP, and I just couldn't get into it and haven't really bothered transferring any new ones. So.
Well, I heard Little Big Planet PSP was actually pretty shitty, especially since you have Vita. It's like, why keep PSP around?
Exactly. But I got it for free, and like I probably would be playing what is the Metal Gear Peace Walker. I would probably be into that.
Oh, don't play that until you've got a lot of free time on your hands. I'm pretty sure
it's supposed to be great, and I would be really interested in it. But the problem is,
it is an excellent game.
I bought the collection, and it doesn't come with it. So they take it out, even though I paid more money for the collection than it would even cost for the PS3 that comes with it. So I'm like, I'm in no rush. I'll get it when it's like real cheap, whatever.
Yeah, same here. They'll probably drop the price around when they release MGS Rising Revengeance, I'm assuming. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that like I like Konami. I like what they do, and it's just really shitty the way they handled that, in my opinion. Because they didn't want to port it, but you don't even have to port it. You just put in a code. You do what they did for Japan and for the Metal Gear on the PlayStation 3, where instead of giving them the Peace Walker, they gave them a code for Metal Gear 1. So you just put in a code for the PSP version, and problem solved. If they want to make money at the expense of us, so whatever.
They want to make money by. Yeah, well, we've done this conversation before, I think, on another one. So
they want to make money by doing it the way they usually make money.
Well, Konami ain't doing so great either. Konami ain't throwing money everywhere. They might not be around for Metal Gear 6. So.
Oh yeah, don't worry.
Keep up those business practices.
Kojima's company, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll probably be able to hold Konami up on Kojima's giant vocal cords. Yeah. What are you guys' favorites PlayStation 1 games?
Oh, actually, I've been playing the one with Mark Hamill in it, like Wing Commander 4 on the Vita. It's tough as hell. Oh, God, it's tough. It's like 2.5 gigs too.
Seriously?
That's your favorite game on the PS1 classics on the Vita?
Well, that I'm playing right now. Oh,
just go all time. Play PS1 games on the Vita that you played.
Jeez. Silent Hill, Resident Evil 2, Soul Reaver, Metal Gear Solid.
You gotta pick one. You're
just running off names so IceBreak doesn't tell you a new one.
Probably the best game I reviewed on my website, ps1classics.com.
If you had one game to play for the rest of your life, and it was a which one would you pick?
God. Probably Metal Gear Solid.
I can just imagine IceBreak standing over Brennan, waggling two fingers.
By the way, you have one. Solid, the correct answer. So we can move on.
The correct answer. What was the wrong answer? What would have occurred if he picked the wrong answer? What would have occurred if he picked the wrong answer?
Obviously, the best game ever on the PS1 was
the most ingenious game ever made for its time. No game has done what that game did in its time.
Gameplay wise, it still holds up. Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
I would say, what about you, IceBreak? But I'm pretty sure you made that perfectly
We've already
clear.
said it.
Yeah.
There you go.
You made it perfectly clear.
What about you, Blue?
Although I know you play Bubsy 3D behind everybody's back. I'd love to play Siphon Filter on the Vita, but it just gets harder and harder to figure out.
Have you tried with the new controls?
I have tried with the new controls, but it's just trying to do the weird touch thing with strafing just doesn't feel as natural because I played Siphon Filter and I was always a strafer. I always strafed everywhere, so it just feels weird trying to play with the back touchpad. Well, I could just imagine someone coming up with like a drum pedal thing that you stick on the back of your Vita and it has triggers on the back and you press them and it
I kind of have a feeling that it might go that way. Like if they do go with full remote play, which is still like a pipe dream at this point, but if that does end up happening, that seems like a common sense solution for remote play. If it's going to have the same controls, you're going to need 4 more buttons. People aren't going to want to do it with the touchpad and all that. Even though it probably works pretty well with the front screen, I think. I don't know about the rear touchpad as well, but.
Yeah,
you do the corners. That's so bad.
Yeah, the rear touchpad just behaves weirdly because you can't do it at the very top or the very bottom of the rear touchpad. You have to do it somewhere in the middle. So if your fingers are too high or too low, it won't register. It's weird.
And it's strange because it does work well in sound shapes and Little Big Planet stuff. It's pretty precise. So I'm not really sure what it is.
Yeah, they'll probably update it at some point.
They might. I mean, imagine if they had little slots in the back of the Vita, behind the, below the L and R buttons and, in the little grip things in the side that have things that, fold up and they're, separate buttons. Imagine if they did that for the Vita hardware revision. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, I'm just glad that they changed the analog and digital where, you could only play digital-only games with the D-pad. I'm glad they fixed it so you can do that with the analog stuff.
And I just checked. Wing Commander 4, 2.25 gig. That's nuts for a PlayStation 1.
A lot of full-motion video, huh?
Yeah, with Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. It's and you can choose different things, sort of like a Mass Effect game, like tell the guy off or be nice, and it gives you different videos. So there's tons of videos you won't even see the first time through. So it's a huge game.
I like that. What was that game for the Sega CD? Was it Sewer Rat or something like that?
Sewer Shark.
There's tons of it.
Oh wait, that's the one game you bring up. You couldn't bring up Dragon's Lair or Space Ace or even Night Trap.
No, that was the Sega CD. That was oh man.
You could have brought up Road Avenger.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a retro gaming nut. I know all about this crap. I actually have an NES in the mail. I can't wait to get that.
You don't have it. What happened to your NES? You were retro gaming crazy.
I never bought an NES. I was born way too late. I think the SNES was on its way out, and the N64 was on its way in by the time I was grown up enough to understand what was going on.
Wow. I have to look at you differently from here on out.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain how.
Never owned an NES. That's crazy.
Anyways, what about Guacamelee coming out for the Vita?
I didn't mention that. Because I'm an idiot.
Should be good.
For real? What the fuck?
Cross-play?
Yeah.
Cross-buy?
I haven't heard or seen much about it.
Tales from Space people, right? Tales from Space? People that developed it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
That's good.
Apparently
That's
it's like a Metroidvania sort of, but Luce Libre. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a great fit for the platform.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep my eyes open for that one. I buy everything. One other thing that I just
Except
thought of.
the SNES until like a week from now. What the fuck? Get an SE in it. Get an NES. Get an NES. Get an SNES. Send you a Virtual Boy. Something.
Oh, come on, seriously? You want to kill my eyes even more? But
gotta build up that retro gaming rep a little bit.
Yeah, well, I two of my favorite games are actually the original Castlevania and Contra, and that's only because I played them through emulators.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get my hands on a NES Power Pack, but I think I'm going to shut up about that now. I need to get like a little buzzer that's like, if we're getting too far off topic, I just blare it into the microphone, and it's like, off topic, siren. But one last thing, and then we can end it off, I promise. Those $10 rebates for spending $60 have just started coming
today.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what they said on the blog.
So what are you guys spending yours on?
I'm getting Journey.
Journey?
Journey.
I'm
You haven't played Journey?
I have not played Journey yet. I have to do this. It's
wow.
embarrassing, especially now.
Blue has never owned a Nintendo Entertainment System, and Brendan has never played Journey.
I've never played Journey. Please don't kill me.
What? Can we? What?
Oh, they
Oh, I thought you were standing up to come and murder me.
And of course, congratulations today to the.
This suddenly got disappointing. Like the whole conversation. It's just.
I really want to play Journey, but the thing is, if I can't play my TV because if the screen is too far away from my eyes, I get eye strain from it.
Okay.
I had
excuses. You go blind later. Here.
Excuse me?
Well, it's congratulations also today to the soundtrack. Alistair Winter, I think, who got nominated for a Grammy for Journey soundtrack in the same category as Hans Zimmer in The Dark Knight Rises and all those things. It's great. Huge for gaming.
Yeah, that's awesome. Also, congratulations to Ben's Studio, of course, the creators of Uncharted Golden Abyss, who won the Golden Joystick Award for Best Handheld Game of the Year 2012.
Yeah, a lot of people not happy about that, but yeah.
Oh, I call bullshit on that.
I think well deserved.
People think that Super Mario 3D Land deserved it, and I keep telling them it's bullshit, mainly because that game was only 5 hours long if you don't count...
Did that game not come out last year?
Well, I think it's like November. It doesn't include December, so...
I call bullshit on SM3D Land, off topic alone, mainly because it repeated itself like 3 times over after
it's a good game. It's not a bad game. And Link alone, like, you're about to play Journey, and Journey's going to win a hell of a lot of Game of the Year awards, and that game is 2.5 hours long. So, it really doesn't matter. The length
it wasn't the fact that the game was long, it was the fact that the game was repetitive, and it didn't really do anything new.
My problem is it wasn't 3D. It was trying to show off the 3D visuals of the gameplay, and it wasn't true 3D. It was a Mario 64 3D gameplay of Mario. It was isometric views and, time to turn on the 3D, then forget to turn it off and get annoyed with it.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, all the people that were complaining about the about Uncharted Golden Abyss winning were 3DS fanboys. I'm positive of that, mainly because
you can like both systems without being a fanboy. A lot of people don't like Golden Abyss. I love Golden Abyss, but I love Uncharted. If Uncharted isn't for you, you're not gonna like Golden Abyss. It's that simple. Like,
It's just like
there's people who don't like Uncharted. There's people who don't like God of War. There's people who don't like Halo.
I will admit that, but I keep getting the feeling from the people who are saying it because they keep raffling off random 3DS games that just weren't that good.
Well, Spike, or the VGAs, essentially, which is probably what we're talking about, they had Super Mario 3D Land last year. So at least Super Mario 3D Land is not a this year game.
Are you sure about that? I thought it was nominated. Like, it was the one 3DS game that was, like, for the
game
VGAs.
The best one. It won Best Handheld Game Award at the 2011 Spike VGAs.
Can you pull up the...
I'm on the Wikipedia page right now.
But Mario, it's cool, man. It's not bad.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it came out last year. Yeah.
I expected more, but it doesn't mean it was a bad game. It's not Call of Duty. I mean,
I'm sure. I'm sure it's great. I haven't played it, but I'm sure it's great. Yeah. Why not?
All right. Well, I think we have nothing else to talk about because we really are scraping the bottom of the barrel if we're repeating stuff we did last time.
We got one pretty big thing to do. We need to talk about our Game of the Year awards. Pretty simple, right? Game of the Year
for me.
Podcast?
For me, it's got to be Sound Shapes. Or sure, not Sound Shapes. Gravity Rush. That's my favorite.
Well, actually, I think it's a little more fair if we do it as sort of categories first.
No. You pick one game. You get one game.
Now, well, I mean, like, you don't want to say what your favorite game of each... Oh, well, then again, I'm probably the only one who's rich enough to actually have a favorite game in every genre. Fine. Favorite game, Virtue's Last Reward.
Hold on. This is BlueMaxima, the guy who's played every goddamn game, including pulling up skirts on anime girls.
What are you talking about? Pinky Spot is nothing like that.
This is news right here. So go ahead. Tell the people.
God damn it. You're just going to keep saying, no, that's not it, until I say my favorite game is Pinky Spot's leg massage. Aren't you?
If that's it, no judgment, man. No judgment.
What's your favorite game?
Virtue's Last Reward.
Okay.
Honestly.
There you go. Persona 4.
And for you, IceBreak?
Gravity Rush.
Persona 4. Persona 4 is really good, and so is Gravity Rush, because the only reason I'm not Let's playing Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward first is because I want to do Gravity Rush and get used to the whole idea of Let's Playing before I actually do my favorite game this year. So, like, I'm pretty sure 999, which was the prequel to Zero Escape, was one of my favorite games of all time, if not the best game of all time in my personal opinion. So,
then why
I don't really want to
there you go.
up.
Virtual's Last Reward.
You gotta pick one. Pick one and stick with it.
The best game this year, Virtue's Last Reward. Done.
There we go.
There you go. So, if you have a 3DS, go pick up Virtue's Last Reward.
I'm going to kill you.
Anyways.
I'm face palming at my microphone. Can you hear it?
Well done. But yeah, that's about everything.
Yeah, I think that's the show. Thank you guys for coming on. I'm actually thinking about... Now, don't be offended by this, but I'm thinking about getting a couple of other people on next time.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, you two just fight it out for 10 minutes. I'm just going to turn away and not say anything. But yeah, I'm honestly thinking about getting a couple of new people in. You know, new stories, new people, new things to talk about.
Yeah.
I hope you two don't.
We need a female gamer on the podcast.
Oh yeah, people keep complaining about
female.
Yep,
true, we need that. So
yeah, people keep
one or two to own it somewhere. Probably.
People keep complaining that they can hear our balls colliding on the microphone. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure around the next time I'll put a recruitment thread up on the Vita subreddit or something, because I'm sure we'll need to find somebody, and I don't know how to do it other than just plain out asking. I don't want to ask. Well, I've asked In Your Hands, also known as Takao on NeoGAF, and never got a reply from him. Although, yeah. And then there was Dr. Thermometer, but after what he said about me on his Twitter account, I'm not 100% sure I want to be on the same podcast as him.
Well, we'll deal with that. Deal with that later. It's up to you. But I think asking people on the subreddit is a great idea.
Yeah, totally. I was thinking about doing something like, if you can come up with the most interesting topic for the podcast, welcome aboard.
Sounds great.
Yep.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right. Okay, this has been the Vita Box. Thanks again for coming on, Brennan and IceBreak. I hope you two aren't too tired. In fact, I know Brennan went to sleep and woke up before this thing. I was surprised I didn't hear you yawning.
Huh?
Surprised I didn't hear you yawning.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man.
Yeah, okay. Well,
see you
brilliant
next time on the Vita Box.
Actually, one thing. If I wanted to pick Mega Man or Mega Man 2, which one should I start on?
Oh, Mega Man 2.
Done. Okay. That's it.
Yep.
See you all later.
Have a good one.
Bye.